Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are
Hopefully Awesome.
That's right, a positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And of course, today's geeky thing is Smallville. That's right, Season 2, Episode 2. That's right, 2 and 2.
On a Tuesday.
Oh, well, this post's on a Wednesday.
Whoops.
You stupid fuck. Listen,
that's what you get for calling me that.
I'm sorry. Listen, just right out the gate, like we're not even 30 seconds into this, I'm already saying crap. Hey, if this is your first time checking us out, welcome. This is a positive place on the internet where we know about all the geeky things we love. What?
It's a positive place, and you just call me
Yeah,
that.
but we're fun. It's funny. It's funny. It's positive. Hey. So Maggie and I talked, and for viewers that are watching, we talked, and if you have been with us for a little bit through this journey, we had talked about vetoing one joke a season. When one of us just can't stand whatever the bit is any longer, we have a cash-in joke.
I wish I had it last week. I would have vetoed the heck out of that certain bag of things.
You forgot about it. That was the problem.
Well,
yeah. So now we have a physical representation of the veto chip. So that will be with us.
And animation's going to pop up. It'll say veto when we pick it up.
I doubt that'll happen. I doubt Editor Matt
veto.
will do that. Yeah.
Veto. Every time. Veto.
What if it's just a picture of Don Vito from Viva La Bam? I don't know. He's probably problematic.
He's problematic.
Yeah,
he's
sure.
really bad.
But yeah, so that I don't know if that'll happen today. I don't know if that'll happen next week or
It'll happen never.
Who knows? I plan on holding on to mine for as long as I can, and we'll see how long that is. Maybe it'll be today. But enough of this chit chattery. All right, I'm ready. This is one of the best episodes of season 2, in my opinion. I love this episode. It's ridiculous in all the best ways. And it makes me so hot, Maggie.
Is it a hot one?
It's a hot one. But you know what else makes me hot?
What?
Going back to Smallville. I don't mean that sexually, just so we're clear. I mean hot.
I don't know.
Because I got to put on a show, Here comes Matt and Maggie. They're gonna put on a show. I forgot this is Smallville. This isn't the Hopefully Awesome show. So we have to be a little bit more focused on Smallville. All right. So cut the shit. Let's get this going.
If you can't take the heat,
Smallville,
get out of the studio.
Smallville Season 2, Episode 2, titled Heat. Episode 23 overall. Original air date, October 1st, 2002. The writer was Mark Verheiden, directed by James Marshall. A couple of names we've heard a couple of times.
Yeah. I'm not vamping this time. I don't know these bros. I can't remember.
So, yeah. This is, like I said, this is one of my favorite episodes. And let me tell you why, Maggie, okay? I'm going to paint you a little picture here.
Oh, okay, here we go.
So we start off
Buckle in,
at
guys.
Smallville High. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 3 months has passed, and old Clark and the gang are starting their sophomore year of high school.
BS beats back to school.
That's right. They just got on their new Rustler jeans and Faded Glory polos.
Wrangler jeans. No Rustler.
No, Rustler. You never... Dude, nothing comes between me and my Rustlers. Are you
No,
kidding me? No, it's Walmart brand, Maggie. Listen, if you want a $7 pair of jeans, all right, you're
I
gonna
get
go to
Faded
Walmart.
Glory, man. That's what
this
it
is Rustlers. All right, they weren't even. I wish I
don't
could
even-
afford Faded Glory. Okay,
I don't remember this brand. It must have been a boys only brand or something.
it probably was boys only.
Boys only brand.
Do you remember Bugle Boys? I digress. So it is the first day of sophomore year. That's right. Clark Kent is now a 16-year-old. And the gang is there, and boy, howdy, is it hot, let me tell you. is a hot one.
God, I'm going to turn you down. Oh, God.
This is what happens when all these sinners are out here. The Lord turns off the air conditioning. And you best be repenting if you want to break from that heat. My God. There's a heat wave going
Hallelujah.
Smallville. And it's not broke, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if the Twister brought it in. I don't know if we're dealing with
it's the vortex.
An El Nino situation again. But, you know, we don't have enough time to deal with that.
All I can think about is Chris Farley in the El Nino skit.
I thought that was... I don't think it was Chris Farley.
It was Chris Farley.
Horatio Sands.
No, it's Chris Farley.
El Nino.
It's Chris Farley.
Yeah, whoever it was.
He explains how it happens and he just goes, El Nino. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I'm just, listen. We can talk about El Nino as long as you want, okay?
No, you want to talk about...
There is so much left. You want to
talk about this hot
We are 6 minutes in, and I'm on line 1 of my notes out of about 300, okay?
Oh, my God.
That's right.
Oh,
look at that. That's right. Lana is making a video to send to Whitney.
Wah.
And Clark just sucks. He's like, hey, good.
I miss you.
You know, it's hot.
We're back at school.
This really sucks. And Lana's like, it's okay, Clark. Just talk like you talk to Whitney. And Pete comes over. He's like, you fucking suck, Clark. God, you suck. Listen. Let me show you how it's done. Let me show you how it's done. Hey, Whitney. The basketball team ain't playing yet because it's football season and they suck. It's because you ain't here, man. Stay safe and come back in one piece, you fucking bitch. Ah! You got cheesy blasters.
Oh, there he goes.
He kick flips off of God knows what, off of himself. Back flips and moonwalks away.
Oh, Lord.
And over the roar of the heat, he yells, "You beat that, Clark!" Line 3.
Oh my God.
Chloe arrives. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. Chloe arrives from her Daily Planet internship. She literally rode the bus to the school from Metropolis. Okay. She didn't unpack. She said, yeah, I just got back. And Clark is just so happy to see her. All right.
Yeah.
He picks her up, gives her a big old Clark hug, you know.
Chloe, I missed you.
I missed you so much, Chloe.
Summer. How was Metropolis?
And Chloe's like,
well, first things first, Clark, you need to get off of me.
Nothing. And Clark apologizes.
And I had a great time in Metropolis. And
No. He apologized for not writing her. He's like, hey, sorry I didn't send you any emails because, you know, the fucking farm was destroyed in a goddamn tornado.
3.
So, I mean, yeah, there was 3. And then those
1.
Those 3 became 1. And that's why the heat is raining down on this town. Oh, Hellville is more like it.
Preach it.
So, I wonder, do they have an episode about Preacher?
Probably. I mean, Michael Rosenbaum was in a show
there it is.
about a preacher.
And then Chloe is like, oh, Clark, don't worry. I forgot all about Smallville because I met a cute boy.
Intern.
Hot boy. Hot intern.
Hot boy.
He made us some hot coffee, if you know what I'm talking about. GTA San Andreas nerds. You know what I'm talking about. Hot coffee. Right? And then Clark is like, oh, what? And then she, you know, drops her wheelies and skates out of there.
Whatever, Clark.
And then, you know what? We go, the bell rings. Ding, 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 ding. Clark's like, oh, boss, it's time for biology. He's excited about it. So he goes to biology, and him and Peter just sat there. Man, it's still just so hot. Okay, it is so hot. You can see just the sweat dripping off the tip of his nose. Okay, and then you know, the ladies are in there and they're just fanning themselves and like, Jesus, When's this heat gonna crash, you know? And then what happens? I forget how the song goes. It's Nelly. It's getting hot. Well, how does it start though? All I can think of is yeah. I know it's not yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, with a little bit of and a little bit of
no.
Let it just fall out, and in walks Miss Desiree Adkins, and she's in her sundress because it's a sunny, hot day. And they're like, "Where the fuck is Mr. Belvedere?" Whatever the fuck his name is. And she's like, "He's not here anymore. I'm your substitute. I'll be filling in for Mr. Belvedere." But
no, she got the job.
It's the first day of school. I don't have anything planned. So we're going to watch a little video. And she reaches up, and it was a full moon that night, Maggie. All right, let me just say. I'm shocked. Hard pause.
Oh, yeah.
How did they get away with this on the WB, the WWB?
Showing a little booty cheek there.
I mean, WGN was running this at first, okay? And like, they don't do that, all right? Like, WGN is a super station, all right? Yeah. They keep things in their pants in Chicago, okay? Like, they call them hot dogs. So then she pulls it down, and Clark's like, "Boo," and all the girls are like, "Oh,
of course."
And Pete's like, "Bleh." Yeah. And then the movie starts playing. And what's this movie, Maggie?
Mating.
It is a sexual education video, everybody.
Sexual
what?
education.
It's a sexual education.
It's a reproduction education video.
Hey, listen. I don't know a lot of things. That was a sexual education, all right? And was she a part of that sexual education? Maybe she was. I don't know. Who can say? Not me. Maybe you. Maybe them. Who knows? Maybe James Marshall or Mark Verheyen. All right. So then, the movie's just watching, right? And you're just seeing some lines doing it, okay?
Yeah.
Doing it line style, all right? Line face. So
get out of here.
So then Clark's like, what's Miss Desiree doing back here? And then he's just looking at her, and you can see all the pores on her face. The sweat is just like, you can see it coming out of her nose to exit her body. Okay. And Clark's just like, what? And she's just fanning herself. She's
and like, Clark, he's starting to get hot.
Listen.
He's starting to sweat like a sinner in church.
You would have thought, all right, that it was the heat wave had gone up a notch, okay? Because Clark is just so hot, okay? Yeah. And he's looking at her, and she's pointing at the animals, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Clark prematurely ejaculates.
Oh my God, Matt!
He does. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Why you gotta be so
gross? That is what it is. Listen, that is obviously what it is. Okay, that is what it is. All right. He's just looking. He can't hold it in anymore, and he just
stop it.
Just starts.
Stop it. You're being gross.
Squirting everywhere.
No, stop
okay.
That.
The heat.
Stop.
The heat, Maggie. The heat in his eyes. All right. Listen. I have watched a lot of porn in my life.
Oh my God.
And all I could say is Tom Welling nailed it. All right. He nailed it. Like, it's all about the eye acting. And I'm telling you, you look in his eyes, he knows what he's doing. All right.
Gross.
I'm kidding. I digress.
Gross.
So yeah, no, Clark really does splooge all over the heat splooge.
Oh my God.
Over the video. And they're like, oh my God, it's a fucking fire. Everybody get out of here. Clark's like, oh no. Does anyone have any tissues? I can't make it through this episode. I can't do this.
Okay, how about I keep going?
No. I got it. I'm back. And, the fire. Everyone runs out, and Clark is just freaked out.
Yeah.
Somebody save me. You motherfuckers need Jesus. So then outside the school, the class is all outside. They have blankets on for some reason. I don't know. That's what you do when, there's a fire. People, they're like, it's 173 degrees outside.
God,
and they're wrapped up in flannel. All right. They're just, because it's been an emergency. I don't know. Clark put it out, right? And then in pulls Lex. Lex doesn't even throw his car into park, he hops out. It keeps going, crashes in the background. Nobody even cares. And Lex starts running everything. He's like, "Oh my God, I was so worried about you." And Clark is like, "Oh, Lex, you didn't have to come on it." And then
Lex,
like a
be for best friends,
like a scene from Date movie. Lex just bypasses Clark and goes straight to Desiree Adkins. But her name won't be Adkins for long. That's right, everybody. Not only is Desiree Clark's new biology substitute teacher, she's also going to marry Mr. Lexery Luthor. All right? That's his full name, Maggie. Look it up. And then Clark's look at it, and he's like,
huh? When did this happen? But to smack you.
I'm confused.
I'm confused, Lex.
Marriage? Like, we met on a business trip and she saved me or some fucking bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And Clark's like, "Oh, wow. When's the big day?" He's like, "That's actually why I wanted to see." Yeah. Clark hands him an invitation for that night to be his best man.
I'm honored.
Lex has a lot of faith that Clark
what do I do?
owns more than a pair of jeans and 3 blue and red t-shirts. Yeah, okay, like he's I don't know why he's so confident in that. And so then a lot of this is maybe out of order. So this may have not been the direct next scene, but it happens at some point during this whole thing. So we go over to Lex's, and Desiree Adkins is there, right? Mm-hmm. And Lex is just pouring fucking sweat again. Like, you can see the pit stains. Listen, if it's not clear, it's hot in Smallville today, okay?
It's a heat wave.
It's a wave of heat. That's right. So anyway,
muy caliente.
And so Lex, he's got like some pages, and he pushes it over with the pen. He's like, "Happy wedding gift from my father," and it's a prenuptial agreement, right? And she's like, "Oh, Lex, I don't want to think about this before our wedding day."
All right now.
And he's like, I know, but if you don't sign it, he'll disinherit me, and And she's like, "Okay, I'll do it if you want me to.
If you give me a kiss."
And so then she licks his fucking jaw, right? And don't do that. And
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So and then he's like, "Fuck prenups. I love you, baby.
I love you and your stinky breath.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. Bum, bum. Come on up here, Tommy boy."
I love you and your stinky breath, Desiree.
Does she have stinky breath?
Well, it's the pheromones coming out of her mouth.
Oh, yeah, we do see the purple.
Poison ivy.
Shh.
Oh,
don't say
hello?
That. Bye, Lucy. Lucy, our dog, is leaving. Goodbye, that's an episode wrap on Lucy.
Good job, Lou.
All right, so now we Lex is like, "Yeah, fuck this. We don't have to sign it." So now we go over to the Kents, right? Mm-hmm. And Martha is just burning up in the house. She's
trying to make this apple pie.
Well, no, she can't even move. She's sitting at the table doing one of these.
Yeah.
She's got a shirt pulled up over her belly a little bit. She's got a big old glass of what can only be described as scotch and lemonade. Okay.
Ooh, barf.
And Jonathan, he's just sitting there across the table, just reading the paper, right? Mm-hmm. And Martha, she's sitting there. She's like, "Oh, I cannot live another day without air conditioning." And Jonathan says, Well, the paper says tomorrow's going to be hotter. Martha says, hotter? And Jonathan says, like yesterday. Martha says, yesterday you said you'd call Sears. Jonathan says, I'll call today. Martha says, you'll call now. And he says, I'll call now. So call 1-800-SEARS.
For all of your air conditioning needs.
It says tomorrow's going to be another scorcher. Cool. Thank you. So I worked really hard on that. All right. I think that deserves some appreciation from everyone watching. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Well, hey, no, it's done. Okay. So Clark walks in and tells his parents about the fire. And he's like, we didn't start the fire. I'm kidding. He doesn't do that.
No.
And they ask, well, Clark, what happened? And Clark's like, well, it felt like heat was coming out of my eyes. I'm like, well, why did heat come out of your eyes? He said, well, we were in biology, and future Mrs. Luthor was there, and she was not wearing her underpants, Mom. And I saw her cheeks, and I'm not talking about the ones beside her lips. At least the lips on her face. Oh my god. And then we was watching a video of these two lions just going at it, and I made a lemon face, and John and Martha look at each other, and they're like, oh no. And John's like, this is gonna get tricky. This bitch is my recital. It makes me very vital. So rock around, let's rock on time. Let's here we go. It's tricky to rock around, let's rock on time. It's tricky. It's tricky.
Tricky.
I met this little girly. Anyway, they said, are you okay? Are you okay? Dude, do I need to keep going? Don't spit it out in the can. All right. It's tricky. They say that Clark should just stay at home until they get it sorted. But Clark doesn't want to let Lex down because Lex is getting married. And Jonathan goes, and drops everything. He's like, he's getting married? That bald-headed fuck is getting married? Well, shit, I guess there's hope for all of us, ain't there, son? How's Lana doing? All right, so then we're at Lex's reception. And, they're like, oh, speech. And they're like, oh, hey. And then they're like, Desiree, Luthor has a nice ring to it, don't you think? And they're like, what is that?
Is she a Southern Belle?
She is. Desiree. Her name's Desiree. Okay, hard pause. Do you remember that episode of Boy Meets World back in the early seasons when Eric was like not dumb yet? He was just really cool. Oh
yeah, he was really cool.
And like his best friend was Max Goof.
Yeah.
Okay, so like there was a girl that he wanted to be with, and she was making him do everything. Right? Yeah. And her name was Desiree, and that's how she talked. Desiree. So that's all I can think of is this.
I've met a Desiree before.
Did she talk like that?
No.
Oh, fair enough. And so Chloe and Clark are talking, and Clark's like, "Hey, Chloe, listen. I know it's been about 3 months since the spring formal. I just want to say I'm really sorry for leaving you at the dance." And Chloe's like, "Psst, ain't no big deal. Lana was in trouble. I know. Lana will always come first when it comes to you, Clark." And Clark's like, "You are saying things, but tonally, it feels like you're saying
you're mad."
And she's like, "Why would you think I'm mad, Clark?"
Because that right there.
Fuck off, you piece of shit.
Are you on your period?
No, Jesus, man. God, that'd be problematic.
They learned about it in biology, remember?
Not yet. They only made it to the lions. All right. day 2 was the periods.
Oh,
are we going to get into this? No. I really don't want to. I want to dive into this. All right?
I want to.
All right.
I was trying to be funny, Brandon.
Then I made it real. You got to be ready to take those bits to the next level, all right? Because that's what I do. I like to take things to the next level, all right?
Huh?
So Clark looks at Mrs. Lex, right? And he's like, man. Oh,
baby.
That Desiree Adkins. So hot. Want to touch the hiney. And Lex walks over. He's like, hey, Clark. And Clark's like, huh? What?
I'm sorry.
Oh. Sorry, Lex. And he's like, hey, I know you're looking at my wife. It's okay. She's very attractive. I understand that you're
yes, she's attracted. Oh!
Clark doesn't do that. This is serious, Maggie. Lex tells Clark that, Clark, sometimes you just have to go for what you want. And Clark looks over, and who does he see? Lana. She's just sitting there, and he's like, oh, boy.
L for Lana, L for love.
So that night, we're at the Talon. We're at the Talon. That night, we're at the Talon.
Sorry.
We're at the Talon. Clark's filming his video for Whitney again. And he's like, hey, Whitney, it's been really hot. There's a fire. I don't know where the fire came from. But I did have to buy a new pair of pants afterwards.
Tissues.
But no, I don't know. But hey, man, I just want you to be safe. And I've not forgot about what we talked about. So don't you worry about that. See you next time.
I saw a tornado, 3 tornadoes become one.
He's like, and as always, thanks for watching and have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye.
Whitney. See you, Whitney. Bye. And then Lana closes. She's like, that was perfect, Clark. Hey, what did you all talk about? And he's like, oh, well, Why told me that to keep an eye on you. And
I promised him.
I promised that I would. And Lana admits, she's like, Clark. God, I really regret. I regret putting my life on hold for him. Like,
for 3 whole months.
It's been 3 months, and Mama's got some needs, my man. Mama's got some needs. You think Whitney wasn't taking her to Bone Town every weekend? After they get out of the football game or whatever, you don't think dances? They were going over to Aunt Nell's and playing cornhole? All right, come on. Everybody needs to grow the hell up, okay? Those two were doing it a lot, all right? And Clark was watching with his telescope because Clark, I'm sorry, everybody, is a cuck. All right, there, I said it.
Whoa,
right,
dude.
We're moving on. And so, she mentions Lex's recent wedding, and that even though it's strange, it's strange how fast Lex moves, but I do admire him for following his passions. And then she looks over at Clark and she says, I wonder if we'll ever be able to follow ours, Clark. And they just look, and then Clark grabs the table. He's like,
you sound like the goat from Goat Simulator.
And he sets the coffee maker on fire. And Lana's like, holy fuck, what is that?
Why's the talent on fire?
He's like,
Stop. You gotta be able to talk, Matt. Oh my god.
And then they stop the fire. They put it out, but Clark is freaked out, right? And we go to commercial.
A word from our sponsors, Coca-Cola. Get in there. Coca-Cola.
Get a cold one when it's a hot one. We now return to Smallville. All right, so now we're at the Kents the next day, and Jonathan's walking in the barn, right? The barn, all the lights are out. He turns the light on. He's like, holy hell, Clark! Jesus, what are you doing in here? I thought you'd be off at school. He's like, Pa, I can't go to school, Pa. The fire keeps setting things on fire, and I can't. If I put anyone in danger, I'd be so. And especially if it was Lana, Daddy, I can't put Lana into trouble.
Whoa.
And Jonathan's like, listen, Clark, we're gonna don't worry about that. All right, listen, we'll figure it out. All right, come on, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Why are you talking like that, Dad?
For some reason, did you not? Were you not aware?
Oh no! What's happened to Jonathan this time? What's happened? Who's he switched places with this time? Because apparently, Jonathan Kent is an absentee father.
It's still Jonathan Kent, okay? But John Schneider was out sick, okay? So they had to get Larry David to fill in. All right. So for the remainder of this episode, I want everybody to imagine Larry David as Jonathan Kent. Okay. I'm kidding. We're not gonna stick with that unless we do. And so Jonathan says, "Yeah, hey, we'll learn to control it. Okay, but It's so we're outside the barn. Right?
Yeah.
And we just see Jonathan setting up a row of scarecrows. Okay. Yeah. And Larry David only filled in for that scene. He's gone now. It's back to John.
Okay, good.
And he's like, Clark, listen, I want you to shoot those scarecrows with the fire out of your eyes. And Clark's like, I thought the point was to learn to not shoot fire. And Jonathan's like, listen here, you little fuck. If you want to learn to find the off switch, you got to find the goddamn on switch. All right. Now, do you want to argue or do you want to light these goddamn scarecrows on fire? Okay, all right. Pa. That's right. I'm your pa. Don't you fucking forget it, you little fire starter.
Papa.
All right. It's okay.
Papa.
Is he 11?
Papa.
No.
I'm sorry, Papa.
All right. It's okay.
I hear you, Papa.
Jesus Christ.
I understand, Papa.
Okay.
I'll fix it, Papa.
And so Jonathan tells Clark just to think about what he was thinking about when he splooged, okay? That's what they're calling it until they figure out what it's called. Okay. Think about what you're thinking about when you prematurely shot fire out of your eyes. Okay?
I mean, doesn't sound any better, but it's better.
Clark's like sitting there, and he's like kind of looking, and he's like, Dad, I think it might be easier if I was on my own, Dad. It sounds like, yeah, just what I was thinking. Just what I was thinking, Clark. You have at it, son. Don't put your eye out. You'll go blind doing that too much. All right. Hair will grow on your palms the more you shoot fire out of your eyes. Hey, listen, after you figure this out, I got a grapefruit with your name on it, all right? All right, I'll be over here while you're thinking about this. And so then Jonathan just starts hoeing around, right? He's got his hoe, and he's just hoeing around, right? He's just hoeing the yard, right? Yeah. And then he looks over, and all of a sudden, Scarecrow's on fire. I shoot over to Clark. Yeah. Clark's over there, and he's like, look what I did. I done squirted that Scarecrow on fire. Oh, man. And then, that's apparently it. Oh, and Elvis was playing this whole time. That's apparently all it took. And, before he shot it out, he said Lana, and that's what made it shit out there. Lana. So then Jonathan laughs. And they're back in the kitchen, and Clark's, barely using his heat vision, and it's causing things to do things. And he's like, whoa. And then they're like, here's some popcorn, Clark. And he's popping it around. And he's like, yeah, just had to figure out what the on switch was. And Martha's like, well, what is it, Clark? And he goes, sex. And the popcorn pops. Ha ha, boom. Nailed it. So then later when Clark's barn, and Clark has mastered his heat vision, right? He's got candles lining up. Yeah. It's hot. But he's just lighting those candles. Because nothing bad has ever happened in a dry county, in a dry barn, with a bunch of hay and just lighting fires,
lighting it up,
willy-nilly.
man.
Nothing bad has ever happened with that, right?
Nah.
But then in walks Mrs. Luthor walks in. Hi, Clark. How you doing tonight? And Clark goes, Desiree. And she's like, oh my golly, it's a scorcher in here. I do declare.
I think I have the vapors.
And she's like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. And Clark's like, now, Molly, you be careful because I got a weak back. And Desiree's like, well, weak back or not, here I come. And then she's like, Clark, I want to fuck you.
Clark is immune to her bad breath, by the way.
She goes right up to him and she licks his forehead. And Clark's like, I can't do this. You're very attractive, but Lex is my friend and
Be for best friends.
I won't be a part of this, madam. And he buttons his shirt back up and he's like, no, thank you.
And you have me sweating like a sinner in church.
And then she leaves. She's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Please don't tell Lex about this little encounter.
Don't tell my little Lexi Poo about it.
And he's like, okay. And so now we're at school the next day, and Clark recants. I'm saying the same word. The tale to Chloe, right? She's like, oh, Chloe, listen, Desiree wanted it, all right? She wanted it good.
She wanted me,
She
Chloe.
wanted the whole
She
thing.
said she wanted me, Chloe.
Chloe, listen, she looked me dead in the eyes, and she said that I was all that and a bag of chips. She said I was fat, P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting. She said that my ass looked like a Big Mac, and she wanted to take a bite out of it. She said, is that a candle in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? She said, I want
that
your nut
USDA grade
babies.
A certified beef. Oh my God.
This is going to be
This is one of the worst.
raunchiest
Yes,
episodes.
it is. I feel like I'm in
How do you listen?
I feel like I'm in American Pie or something.
How do you do this episode without talking about sex? Okay, like that is the episode. That is what the episode is. All right, that's like there's no way. Listen, if we wanted to be a bunch of fucking prudes and just stay on script about it, then sure we could do that. But this is about a teenage boy, you know, experimenting with his sexuality, you know, and maybe he wants to make love to a man, maybe he wants to make love to a woman. It doesn't matter anymore. There's no more lines, all right? Don't be so suburban, okay? That's a Jay and Silent Bob quote for you. And so Chloe's like, okay. Okay, Clark.
Yeah, right, Clark.
Oh. So she's like, I don't believe you, Clark, but I did do some digging into our dear old Desiree. What D's am I going to say? Dick. And then she's like, I did find that her name was Allison Sanders, and she grew up in Smallville.
No. What? No.
Jesus. Clark believes she has some kind of hold over Lex, and Chloe's like, you're crazy. People don't have powers of manipulation over people, Clark. You sound like one of these crazy people that I put on my wall of the weird.
Tell it to those two dudes that would shake your hand and manipulate you last season. I can't say manipulate, right? There we
Bob
go.
and Kyle?
Yeah.
I love Bob and Kyle.
They got powers of manipulation.
Remember Legs pulled out that submachine gun? It was like, that's crazy. Yeah, so then we go over to Lex's, right? Clark walks in and he's like, hey, Lex. And Lex is like, hey, you know what? I know what happened. Desiree already told me.
Yeah.
You know, and Clark, I understand, but I wouldn't have expected it from you. You were like my brother. You were my brother, Clark.
What did I do?
You were supposed
Be
to save the
best
force,
friends.
not leave it in
Be
darkness.
for brothers.
Don't try it.
Be.
Don't.
Be
Don't try it.
Be for best friend.
I have the high ground.
I didn't do anything. She did it. No, I love you.
And he's like, listen, I know that you came on to her. And
Oh,
Clark's
for love.
like, I didn't come on anybody, okay? It was fire. I just want to make sure that story is set straight, Mr. Luthor. But no, she came on to me, thank you very much. And I told her no. I said, you were my best friend. I said that we were best friends. And that me and you were going to be brothers because me and you were best friends.
And I was your best friend.
B is for Brave, B is for Bruce, BF is for best friends. And I love you, Mr. Luthor. And Lex is like, stop it. Stop it.
I'm going to kill you.
You had me at hello. Hello. And then Clark leaves. But he shows him the paper of the fake identity first. And then later, Lex is like, hey, honey, how was your day? And she's like, oh, darling, I just love me some butter. Let me tell you what.
Oh, God.
Lex is like, hey, so, I found this paper that has like a alternate alias on it of you. Like, is that anything? And she's like, oh, that old thing? Oh, it's fine. I changed, but listen, baby.
Changed my name.
Well, why don't I go start a shower and you can wash me? It blows him like pheromones.
Yeah.
She blows him.
Yeah.
The pheromones.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm just trying to make sure you understand that she blows him. The pheromones. And so,
Stop
what?
it.
What?
Stop it.
Maggie?
Stop
I
it.
said blowing him pheromones.
Yeah, but you saying it differently.
All I said was she was blowing him pheromones.
Hey, you're not saying the same anymore.
I said she's blowing him pheromones.
You're still not saying.
So we're
it
back at the Talon. And Chloe is sending her message to Whitney, and she says something, I don't know, a bunch of shit probably. And then she starts writing a story about the fire, and she's like, Lana started the fire. And Lana's like, I did not start it, Chloe. And she's like, nah, I'm just joshing with you. And then Chloe
I bet you started it so you could get insurance money.
And Chloe and Lana just start talking about her summer in Metropolis. And Chloe admits she made up the whole story about meeting someone in Metropolis.
Wow.
But did she? Did she make that up?
This is my first time watching it. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, she said she did. So
Yeah.
I guess she did. So
I think what she told Clark was really mean, though.
So she admits it was a mistake to go to the dance with Clark. And Lana says it wasn't a mistake. Clark cares for you. And Chloe says he might care for me, but not as much as he cares for Lana.
She's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to come out like that.
And then Lana's like, listen, I say that we don't let Clark come in the way of our friendship and that we will define ourselves by what we do and not who we date. I don't want to wait.
Guarantee one of them's going to be with Clark within the next 3 episodes.
Jesus. And then Lex walks in and she's like, oh, hey, Lex, here's the rest of the insurance info. And Lex is like, fuck you, bitch.
You need to pack up your
get out.
shit and get out of
kicking
here.
your ass out. And she's like, but, and he's like, you make like the beanery and fucking leave, bitch. Get the fuck out of my Talon. Get the fuck out of here. And she's like, but this says 24 hours. Like, I'm sorry. I don't hear people that are losers talking to me. You fucking beanery. Fuck your beans. Fuck your beans, Lana. Get the fuck out of here. And then we cut to commercial.
This is brought to you by Mentos. Get in there. I just want to see her.
That's what Clark said. Back to Smallville. Lana tells Clark what happened at the school. Or they're at the school, and Lana tells Clark what happened. And Clark's like, I just know it's got to be because of Mrs. Lex. I saw her. She was trying to put the hots on me, and I said no. But Lex was going to try and do it anyway, and I'm really sorry, Lana. Say hello to your aunt for me. And then Lana's like, all right, I don't know what that was all about, but I got to leave. And then Clark's like, oh, no, I got to get to class. And then he turns around,
like that?
and Desiree Luthor is there, and she's like, well, if it isn't Mr. Clark, Clark. Listen, if you thought that was bad, just think of what I could do to everyone you love. I will burn this fucking town to the ground if you don't leave it alone. And Clark says, I'll never stop. And she's like, well, fuck, you got me there, Clark. And then we cut away. So outside, Mrs. Lex is burning her car. And she's like, this will teach Clark a thing or two. A thing or two? Boobs?
I thought you meant cheeks.
No. But I get that would have made more sense. And so we're at the Kents, right? And Clark's like, yeah, I don't know. Something about marijuana. I don't know, Dad. Pete and Lionel. And I don't know what to tell you. Jonathan's like, what? And then, there's a knock on the door. Who could it be? And Jonathan's like, man, damn it. I was really wanting to know what Clark was talking about.
Who could it be now?
It's Bobby B now. Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B. Transformers. And it turns out that it's Sheriff. And he's like, hey, Clark.
You've been involved in 3 fires.
3 fires in 3 days. And you set Mrs. Luthor's car on fire.
But where did the other fire happen?
And Clark's like, Mom, Dad, I don't want to go to jail. And John's like, shut the hell up, son.
I'm scared,
Listen,
Dad.
you're going to do...
Papa.
You're going to do what goddamn Ethan says. And you're going to sit your ass in that fucking jail. And then me and your mom are going to go to Bonetown because it has been so hot. And she owes me for that goddamn air conditioner I bought over at fucking Sears, all right? So you stay
Papa.
in the jail for like a good
Papa.
12, 15 hours, and then we'll come bail you out, all right? But don't say a fucking word because snitches get stitches, Clark.
Okay, Papa.
That's goddamn right, okay? Get the hell out of here, son.
I'm sorry,
Make
Papa.
like the beanery and get the fuck out of our house. So then it's the next day. And we're at the Talon, right? And Martha comes walking in, and she's got kind of a limp for some reason, but they never really explain. I guess it has something to do with what Jonathan was talking about. She's looking for Dale. That joke was stupid. It's not even funny. It's just funny to me. So she's looking for Dale. But she only finds Lex, right? And she's like, oh, bye, Lex. And Lex like, Martha, listen, I'm sorry about Clark. She's like, are you Clark? Or are you Lex? How are you sorry? And he's like, yeah, he's just a very troubled young man. And listen, Mama Bear comes out, all right? And she takes Lex's asshole and rips him a new one, all right? Like, he is torn from front to back, all right?
Oh,
he is
God,
tore
Matt.
up from the floor up, all right?
Oh, my God, man.
And just fucking, she shoves his head so far up his ass that his teeth are brown.
Ooh, Matt. Matt.
I'm just telling you what happened in the episode, okay? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
The truth.
That was the truth.
No, listen to the truth.
She ripped him a new asshole, literally, not even figuratively. I watched it, all right? I don't know what version you watched.
You must have been on shrooms or something, man, because
I'm on shrooms, yeah! I'm on shrooms! La, 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 la.
Oh, my God. I feel like I'm going insane.
And then she's like, how could you know her, Lex? You just met her. And Lex like, fuck. And then we go to the jail, right? Lana and Chloe walk in, and they meet up with Clark, and they show him that Mrs. Lex was having sex when the meteors crashed. And they suspect this gave her powers of pheromones. And now she has been married, and people have died multiple times. Like, her parents died, and she got the inheritance. And then her husband killed himself. And then she married another old man, and he died by another lover. And then she got all that money. But then what'd she do? She put all the money into .coms, fucking pet.com and stinkhole.com and moviepoopshoot.com. She just did all this shit, right? And then went fucking ass up, all right? And just had no money until, who's that knocking at my door? It's Lex Luthor. That's right. She meets Lex, and I guess
knock on our door.
I guess she's trying to get Clark to kill Lex for her so she can get all Lex's money. But it's a good thing that Clark's immune to the opposite sex pheromones, and Clark's like, ah! Clark thinks he's like, oh no, Daddy, he was supposed to go talk to Lex about me.
Oh no, Papa's supposed to go talk to Lex and Desiree. That was John, and I'm sorry.
It's the most sincere Papa.
Look at me. Papa.
And then he's like, oh no, Daddy. And then Chloe and I are like, all right. Well, Ethan comes in and is like, sorry, ladies, but the hog trough is closed. So you got to get the hell out of this jail cell. And I was like, why the fuck is everybody so just rude all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Everybody gets rude when it's hot. Look it up.
It's true.
And then Clark sets the alarm on fire. Ethan comes over. He's like, oh, get out of here,
come here, Clark.
Come here.
You know, you got to stay, right? You got to stay.
Let me put this fire. I'm going to turn my back to... Oh, he's gone.
Oh, Lord. I did it again.
And then we're at Lex's pool, right? And then here comes Jonathan Kent. And then who's that swimming in there? Ms. Desiree. Cheeks and all. Just bearing it like a foot on the floor of an airplane. What in the world? Sorry, our dog is barking in the background. If you can hear it. And let's see. So she's naked. And then
Jonathan's like, you need to put something on.
Jonathan throws the towel at her. And he's like, listen here, bitch. You ain't got nothing I ain't seen, all right? Listen.
I already fooled around last night with another lady.
I fucked Martha so hard she had to walk with a limp this morning. All right?
Oh my God,
so
Matt.
there ain't no more juice left in this engine, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, that's
I'm going to
gross.
need 2-3 months at least to be able to work this energy back up. All right?
3 months?
So, hey, man, he's older. All right? That's what happens. All right? Listen, I don't want to get into it. It's called ghosting, but we'll leave it at that, okay? I don't mean social ghosting. Listen, it's a...
Oh, my God, I don't want to know.
You don't want to know. And, like, you know how, like, you think you see a ghost, but then there's actually nothing there?
Yeah?
Ghosting.
Oh, my God.
So he wants her to stop fucking with Clark, all right? She's like, listen here, you itty-bitty ditty-bitty committee, all right? You need to stop fucking with my son. And she's like, okay, Mr. Jonathan. And then she kisses him, or tries to. I think she just breathes in his face.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, my engines are running now. Clark, Jonathan, she tells him it's too late. Wait, we're at Lex's. Lex realizes his whole life has just turned to shit ever since he
What
met.
have I done?
And she's like, well, it's too late now, Lex. opens the door. In walks Jonathan Kent with a goddamn hunting rifle. And he's like, how do you like these apples, Lex?
Mr. Kent.
He shoots, but he misses. He's shooting blanks. That's what I'm saying. And then he shoots
I need
another.
a timeout.
He takes another shot at Lex, right? And Clark super speeds in there and throws the doors open and shoots at his dad's shot and melts it, turns to liquid. So Jonathan's liquid just spews all over Lex, right? After he shot it off. And like, they're like, huh, what? And then Desiree's like, not today. And she picks up a bottle of the most expensive alcohol you've ever seen and breaks it on Leg's back and then lights this fuck on fire. He's literally on fire here. And he's like, ah! 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 Ah!
Hey, we have a kid sleeping. We have a kid sleeping.
I'm just sitting here like, Jesus, Legs, stop, drop, and roll, man. What the fuck are you doing? Listen, I understand not people don't get set on fire every day, all right? But I mean, I guess they didn't teach you how to fucking stop, drop, and roll in business school, you stupid bald-headed fuck. God, you just stop, you drop, and you roll around. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Yeah. Smothers the fire.
And so then,
last week was Fire Safety Week
at school. So then,
no, nationwide.
Oh wow! Only you can prevent them. And so Clark goes over. He finds this red blanket. And he tackles Lex to the ground, starts punching him in the back of the head. Right? He's like donkey punch. He just punches him in the back of the head. And Lex is like, Jesus, Clark, the fire's out, man. And he's like, no, shut the fuck up, Lex. You put me in jail, you fuck. You took Lana's talent away. And then Desiree makes it for the door, and Clark's like, you didn't say the magic word. And then he lights the handle. He shoots at the handle. The handle gets just really hot, and she grabs that with all of her fist, and she's just jiggling it around, trying to open it. And then, it's too hot. It goes off in her hands, a tale as old as time. And so she screams because she can't open the door. And then Clark hits Jonathan in the back of the head. Not do anything anymore.
Yep.
So now we're at the Kents. And Jonathan, he's washing his hands, right? I don't know. And he's like, yeah, Clark, I talked to Ethan. They're going to let you off with a warning this time. Listen, I know you broke out of jail, all right? And maybe you started a few fires, but you also saved Lex Luthor's life. So it's a warning. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Listen, I paid him off, all right? I paid him. Okay. With corn.
Thanks, Papa.
Yeah.
With maize.
Don't fucking mention it.
Maize?
Bitch.
Was it maize?
Now, if you'll leave me be...
Did you pay him with
I'm
maize?
going to take this mighty fine lady out for dinner.
I thought you said you couldn't do it until...
Fuck off, Clark.
But
it's called ghosting. Look into it.
Papa.
What?
Papa.
What?
Papa.
What?
I love you.
All right, I love you too. Come on, Martha, get your goddamn jacket. But Jonathan, it's 90 degrees out. Shut. Fuck.
I need to get away from this house.
I'm going to the basement. I'm gonna hang some nails. Not like with a hammer.
I know what you meant.
And so then we're at the Talon, right? And Clark visits Lana, and she explains that Lex has given back the Talon and fixed the agreement so this can never happen. So this never happens again. And she also got the new fancy cappuccino, a cup of chino machine, right? And Clark's like, that looks fancy. And she's like, I've decided to break up with Whitney. She's out of nowhere. She's like, well, Clark, listen.
Just gonna lay it out right now,
I'm
Clark.
breaking up.
I'm breaking up.
I'm a free agent.
Yeah.
You like what you see? You think about that, Clark. Think about it.
If you beat more honest with me, Clark.
And Clark, his eyes start getting really high. He's like, I gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow in school. Ah! And it starts raining. And it's like, looks like the heat broke.
It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. Hallelujah.
It's raining cookies. Cowabunga.
It's raining cookies.
And then Lana turns on her camcorder, puts it in selfie mode, and she's like, listen, Whitney, we had a good run, but you've been gone for 3 months.
And I've got needs.
I've got needs. Mama's got some needs, all right? It's been so hot here, but something's been hotter, if you know what I'm saying, all right? I went down to the...
Oh, God.
I went down...
I'm so scared of what you're going to say next.
I went down to the home improvement store and got some hedge clippers, and this bush is gone. So I'm sorry, Whitney.
I'm dead.
This ass is not yours no more. So say goodbye to that.
To
the end. We made it, everybody.
Oh, Lord.
Finally. It only took us an hour.
I'm about to fall asleep onto this mic, if I'm being honest.
So,
I am so tired.
Can I just say, it's kind of messed up that in this video that Whitney's going to get, right? He's going to get this video in the mail.
And everybody's like, I
hey,
miss you, Whitney.
It's hot.
Okay. Come back home.
And then Lana's like, I'm breaking up with you. Just, it's like, that's kind of messed up. Like, maybe send 2 videos. Maybe, like, watch this one first, and then watch this one.
Yeah.
Or, just write him a letter. I watched this movie called Dear John.
Yeah.
And it was about this couple that writes letters.
Yeah.
And I think that Lana should be, like, the main character in that. And she should write him, like, a Dear John letter. Right? Because it's from the movie Dear John. But, like, I guess it'd be a Dear Whitney. Yeah. But, like, the way that those letters were in Dear John, that she should write him a Dear John letter. That was a terrible joke. I'm really sorry, everybody. I tried to sell that so hard. Thanks. I really tried to sell that.
I was like, is this getting anywhere? I know what Dear John means. Let's go.
It's time for the countdown to
Billy.
If you thought the sex jokes were over, buckle up, fuckers, because we got 69 weeks till Billy gets here. 69. 3435 means it wants to 69 with you.
Wow.
This has been the countdown to Billy.
It sounds like you're going to barf.
All right, so now we're getting into a returning segment for the first time since the first time, everybody. That's right. It's time for puberty with superpowers.
Yeah. Big change.
Yeah.
That's right. We only get to run that one like once every like 3 or 4 years. So I'm really, really excited to get to play that one.
Oh my God.
This new superpowers
puberty
that Clark learned is heat vision. Splooge machine. So like we kind of discussed this not in the podcast because we have discussions outside of this podcast. That it's interesting that this is just heat vision, right? Like it's just heat coming out.
There's no lasers.
There's no lasers. There's no red. It's just a little. It's not even fire. It's just heat coming out. Which I mean, I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's always called heat vision. I could be wrong. Maybe laser vision. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's always called heat vision.
Laser eyes.
Obviously, as Clark gets older, his powers mature. He's able to do more stuff. And so, we see the heat vision be able to, grow with that. So even though this is the introduction of heat vision, it's not in its final form, right? So there you go. It's like he gets stronger too, like
Stronger than yesterday. Now it's nothing but a mile away. My loneliness ain't killing me no more. I'm stronger
I thought that would sound
than
better.
I ever
All right.
thought that I could be. Baby.
Now let's get into the freak of the week.
Major funky.
All right. Freak of the week this week is Desiree Atkins, a.k.a. Heat-Causing Horn Dog.
Oh man.
Yeah! I did it. I brought it back. Heat-Causing Horn Dog. What do you think of that?
I would have called her Poison Ivy.
She's not, though. She's not. She had nothing to do with plants.
I don't know.
We'll get there, Maggie. Calm your tits.
You calm your tits right now, son.
I'm sorry. That was rude. I'm sorry. That was rude. I'm sorry.
You just don't want me to flick you
No,
anymore.
it was rude. I should have said that. I never say that too. That's the other. I think I'm just so. My mind is just in the bottom of a gutter right now.
Yeah. Well, also you're like in raunchy mode. So
It's
like
true.
anything that comes into your brain, you're like,
No
I
filter.
am just gonna do it, guys. It doesn't matter.
Hey, but seriously, that was disrespectful, and I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. It's
All
okay. I forgive you.
Hey, thanks, honey. All right. So, current ranking of the Freak of the Week is number 1, Nixon Part 2, aka Electric Boogaloo. So
I can't believe that's the name of that.
So Maggie, where would you rank Heat-Causing Horn Dog? Would you
I'd say
she's
2.
worse than Nixon?
Yeah.
Now, I think the fact that she has powers automatically puts her above him. Like, she's at least as enjoyable to watch. I don't mean from a sexual standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You set yourself up for that one.
I'm sorry.
Son.
I mean, like, the things that she causes is an interesting story, right? Like, this was interesting.
With her body.
Like Jonathan. Oh my god. All right, I'm putting her number 1.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
For now, she might not be number 1 next week.
So it's a hotter girl next week.
Maybe it's not a girl at all.
It's a
Who
hotter
knows?
boy.
Maybe Smelly Pee ends up on this list. Who knows?
No.
No, he doesn't.
No.
One could only wish. What is it? New number 1, Heat-Causing Horn Dog. I mean, did we need to discuss it more?
No.
Or
No.
are you sold?
I'm sold.
Okay, just making sure. I just like bypassed the entire conversation of ranking this. All right, so your new ranking at number 1, Heat-Causing Horn Dog, and at number 2, Nixon Part 2, aka Electric Boogaloo.
Yay.
All right, now let's get into no flats, no tights. Did they break the rule this week, Maggie? Did they break the rule this week?
No.
Did they?
No.
All right, this has been. No, I mean,
There were no tides and there were no flights, so no.
well, in the DC references, there is a reference to the Todds. So I'm going to give it to you because it's not actually Clark, but I'm going to give it to you. So no, that is a no today. So let's get into DCU references, part of a bigger world. You just don't know it yet.
You become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it.
All right. This first one's a big one. Desiree uses pheromones to get men to do what she wants them to do, similar to the DC Comics book villain Poison Ivy. Mm-hmm. In the movie Batman and Robin, Poison Ivy turned 2 friends against each other. Also in that movie, Poison Ivy got her powers from an evil mad scientist whom she then killed. That scientist was played by John Glover.
Who is?
Lionel Luthor. Man, I thought we was really gonna make it out of this one without that.
Nope. Gotta have it.
When Lex's back is on fire, Clark throws a red towel,
Tablecloth?
I guess it says towel, over him, which resembles the Superman cape. Which is something Superman would probably do. He'd probably use his cape. I mean, I guess he could use Like Superman could use like his breath to put it out. But I mean, it could also hurt the person. So I don't know. He could also probably do like that Hulk clap. Probably do that. Chloe refers to herself as Cupid's cannon fodder for dating Clark. This is reminiscent of her line, "I'm not a crash test dummy you can use to try out your dating skills," in the episode, ironically, called Cool. So the episode Cool, the episode Heat. Heat causing horn dog, heat sucking horn dog. Think about it. Chloe's internship where she met a guy. Was it really true or not? This is Lex's first wedding. There we go.
There are many more to come.
That's right. I mean, if you read the comics. So. Now let's get into the Talon mix.
Hey, I like these guys. Yeah. Rumi Zero!
I went there. First up, we have My Friends Over You, where everything I want. My voice is gone. Sorry. My Friends Over You by Newfound Glory. Hot in Her by Nelly. A Little Less Conversation by JAXL versus Elvis Presley.
That's the people that remixed it.
Truth or Dare by Nerd featuring Kelly's. Is that
Khalees? That's
Khalees?
the milkshake lady.
And then Tomorrow by Avril Lavigne. Do you know about Avril Lavigne?
What do you mean?
That she died.
No, she
And they
didn't.
replaced her with a lizard person.
No, honey, that's conspiracy theory. No, she's alive.
But that's just a theory, a conspiracy theory. Thanks for watching. All right.
Bye.
Next week, season 2, episode 3, titled Duplicity. Maggie, based solely off of the title, what do you think the episode Duplicity is about?
Duplicity, which is duplicate, so that means somebody's copying either people or stuff.
I mean, do you want to go any?
Multiplicity with
Like, I mean,
Michael Keaton.
Like, I mean, do you think it's like who do you think this person is? Is it like a student? Is it like a Lex
I figure
employee?
A student.
Okay. That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. We'll just have to wait and see next time. But yeah, that's it, everybody. We made it. This is a little bit of a longer one because I just can't help myself. If this is your first time watching and you enjoyed this, please be sure and leave us a review on your favorite podcast network, platform rather. Or you can leave a comment over on YouTube. Leaving a comment helps our stuff grow because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. So definitely leave us a comment. We'd greatly appreciate it. Also like, share, hit the subscribe button. You can ring the bell if you want. I don't even ring the bell for people, so I don't blame you if you don't do it for me.
Ring my bell.
Ring my bell.
My bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Once you ring the bell, it can't be unrung. All right, and for those, what?
Doesn't sound like Doctor Who.
For those watching us on Patreon, stick around.
For Box
the
of Lies.
show, we got Box of Lies, round something. Oh, I've lost the count of what round it is. But we'll be doing that. We also have the pre-show and all that fun jazz. Jazz. J-A-Z-Z. Get your head out of the gutter, God. But that's going to wrap it up for us, everybody.
I knew you said jazz.
We'll see you. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, as always.
Have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye.